And welcome to Simulation Gaming, and we are on something different today. We've wrapped up our full walkthrough of Space Marine 2, and I did a kind of full review on that. You can see that on our series within our playlists. And now we are on to Planet Coaster 2. I've not got into sort of the main sort of menu or anything like that. Probably a lot of you may have played this already. I just wanted to do a bit of a sort of a create my own park in a sandbox environment. So that's what I've done here. So what we're going to be doing is just creating a park with all of the things that you get in the game. I'm not for this particular park. I'm not going to do any potentially custom stuff other than probably the odd thing added onto a building, etc. But I'm not going to be doing any custom coasters, etc. like that. I just wanted to show you all what comes out the box, what you can create, how nice you can make it with what's in there without going too crazy on it. And me kind of learning on the way as well with it because I've not played this before, so this one's a new one for me. I did have a little bit of a play around with it probably a day before I did this video just to sort of get some of the basics. So I just wanted to sort of get the basics under my belt. So currently what we're trying to do here, we're trying to create a Viking themed area. So just laid a quick path down. This is going to be my main entrance. Um, and sort of try to get that first look and feel as you walk into that entrance. That's what it'll be about. I must admit, when using the kind of path tool, there is a bit of an art form to it. I presume that's just me not being very experienced at it, but I've noticed from others that have said about the tooling for it, it can be a little bit tricky in places, but it's not too bad. So that's what I've done. What I'm trying to do here is I'm just trying to sort of see what kind of different kind of looks look like. So you can get like the pass with rails, pass without the rails. So I'm just you'll see me going backwards and forwards quite a lot, trying different things, and I might delete some things as I go. Um, so that's what we're kind of doing here. So just for the purposes of this video as well, I have sped it up to probably I think it's 3.5 times as fast, only because basically it would have just taken about nearly 2 hours, and I think at normal speed it would have just been too slow. But you know, if anybody wants to suggest a different sort of speed pace to this, absolutely fine. So yeah, I'm still messing around with the entrance, as you can see, and then some of the tooling. What I did find a bit of a weird one was trying to get all these extra bits that I'm looking at now. I was looking at the actual themes for the areas, and it just kept coming up with the set pieces, but I kept forgetting I had to click on the blueprint stuff or the non-blueprint stuff, which is the two square boxes on the bottom right, to get to choose those different things. So yeah, so what I'm trying to do now is just add different details and elements and things like that onto it, just to give you that kind of nice theme before you get into the park. Um, and what I'll probably do as well is that once I've done this, I'm just trying to get some basic theming in, and then I'll put some rides in, and then I'll put some basic theming around it. But then I'll probably at some point spend a lot more time padding all of that out to make it look like a real finished piece of work. Um, but yeah, I mean, on first impressions though, I've bumped the graphics up to the max settings. So what you see is the max settings, obviously, however your display comes through. Um, and it's pretty good. It's pretty smooth. No real lag or anything like that in there. Um, yeah, it's pretty decent. You know, the environment's pretty nice. And I quite like all the details, even on this little intro in this sort of little entrance here. You've got like all the fire sort of going off at the front and things like that as well. All the details on the axes either side, so it's quite nice. Um, as you can see me here, I'm just kind of struggling with the snap to function. So I'm just trying to mess around with that and get used to it as well. So yeah, so I'm just trying to create some lovely little walkway and fences, because I know in the game when you do play, it's like all that kind of aesthetic appeal does score in your favour sort of thing. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. So we're trying to build all of this out here. I probably spent quite a lot of time messing about with different features and things and trying to build it out properly. But as I said, this is me sort of learning where everything is and where it all lives and things like that. So yeah, just trying to build, and this is before you get into that theme area as well. Oh yeah, something I forgot to say as well is that when you're on like a kind of creative kind of vibe as well, try and pause the light, or the sort of weather thing, because if you don't, you'll get the rain, and the rain just comes on for ages, and then you can't really figure it out from there. So because it kind of like obscures your sight with certain things, but if you got like a sunny day, everything's quite clear and simple to look at. So that's why I sort of selected that as well. Yeah, I was doing something here where I accidentally got made it a big group, so you can delete the whole group, but it's quite useful actually. So if you group everything you don't like, you can remove a lot of stuff at the same time. Um, so I just moved those around. So yeah, still messing around with the entrance. I probably spent quite a bit of time just learning bits and pieces on that. So I think I'm now looking at a flat ride. I did a bit of an upswing, a Viking themed upswing at that, and I thought it'd be quite nice next to that little rock sort of pool area. I didn't create that, by the way. That was already there, but I just thought actually it looked quite nice there. So I thrown that down there. It looks quite cool, with like the little rock monster in the background. I quite like that. So yeah, so I'm now sort of creating the queue for that as well. Don't ask why it's red. I looked at it and I thought I should change that to a different color. So probably on by the time we get to the next video, I'll fiddle with that and change it to the right color basically. But at the time, I was just trying to create a bit of a layout. I thought it'd be a good idea just to wiggle it around and then raise it to a bit of a higher thing. Because obviously, when the path goes through all of this as well, they'll be able to see what other things are going on. So just trying to create an environment like give you an idea. Me and my family go to a lot of theme parks across the UK all year round. So we see a lot of different things, the things that are good, things that we don't like, and actually, it's quite nice when you're in a queue. You get to see lots of different things. So my idea was, well, let's make the queue so you can see lots of things, but also when you can't see, there's lots of nice theming dotted around to keep you interested with things. So it's just sort of trying to create that kind of excitement. So there's the exit just going in there quite quickly, and I just start putting a bit of theming around there as well, just to make it look quite nice. Um, and I must admit, out of the without even going to creating your own stuff out the box, there's quite a lot of themed options for things for the Viking area. I've not really checked any of the other themes or anything else. So I thought I'll start with this and then I can move on to something else and then do other things as well. So I just need to sort of build this area first. What I am looking forward to though is the water park side of things. I think that's going to be really, really good. I've not even looked at it yet. I'm just focusing on this area at the moment because I just think let's get these in, let's get some good rides in here, and then see how it all looks. So that's kind of where my mind was thinking, sort of thing. So yeah, oh yeah. And as I noticed this little person here, I realised I left my left my park open when it shouldn't even be open. So I do go back and close it in a minute just to make sure that they all go on their way. Not that really, really matters. It's a creative park, so it's not really going to do anything. But I just thought I'd better turn it off. And if you take the easy way to turn it off, just go to the entrances, click on it, and you can turn it off to be closed. And they'll all go tootling off and walking away. So yeah, so then I thought, oh, let's put a couple of ships in here. And actually, what really is good, you can raise and hire things, and they actually merge with the environment around it quite well as well. So I thought that was a really nice touch. Like putting that boat in the water looks like it's actually in the water, and I thought it's not just sitting on top of it or sort of thing. So I quite like that. Even though I have not done it on these elements here, you can change the scale, so you can make that boat I just put in, you can make it smaller or bigger. So that's quite useful as well. So if you create a space and you think, oh, I can't get it in, you can reduce the scales down. So the scaling tool is really simple to do. It's just a slide bar on the menu, and you just slide it up and down. It gets bigger or smaller. Simple as that, really. Um, so yeah, yeah. I think I've. Oh right, yeah, yeah. I was creating a. It's like this Smith thing, yeah. And I quite like this. It's got a little animation on it as well, which I quite like. So I thought I've got to have that in there. Be wrong not to. But yeah, as you can see, you can snap into different the same objects, so they look like they're falling on the floor to the side, or you can change angles and things like that. And the menu's quite simple with that. There's a few little tricky bits into it. Would I say it's 100% intuitive? No. Is it bad? Not really. It's just like anything, getting used to something. I wouldn't say it's cumbersome to use. There's just a few tricky bits. It's one of those, if you don't know, you don't know sort of thing. Um, yeah, so I thought I'd put a little wall here just to make it a little enclosed sort of here. Just seemed to make sense, and it fits in with those walls. Just this side, because I wanted to leave the other side open, so when the boat's going up and down, they can see the ship right in front of them. Just put a few logs, just tumbling on the floor, sort of thing. And I did a quick little test in it just to see different positions, see what it looks like. And pretty much like any pirate ship, that's pretty much how it works, backwards and forwards. Yeah. Great when you're on it, though. A bit gutted about Blade going now. Oh, 44 years, Blade's go. I mean, it's an old ride, bless it. But, you think they would have a plan to replace it, but they never did. Um, but yeah, yeah. Hopefully they will come up with something that replaces it. So yeah, I mean, this is the good thing on some of these buildings. You can snap items right onto them as well without too much fuss. Although later on in the video, I do have a few problems where they're just like hovering in the air. So I don't know whether that's an issue with certain parts of a model that you can only do it with certain things, or whether it's me just not snapping it in the right way. But it's something I'll figure out as I go. If you know a better way of doing that, please let me know in the comments. And one of the things that you always need at theme parks, lots of benches. It's quite good actually, because it does snap into the curve of the path as well, so you don't have to really rotate too much. It'll just snap into it. So there's something in the design there that makes it quite good. And this is the scale tool that I've just used here to make the head of this a little bit bigger, just so it looks quite cool. Yeah, so you can make small, bigger. It is pretty good. And I thought it'd be brownish side, so I just put a little bit of a wall, put a sail in there as well. But I just thought that kind of looks quite good, like a banner poster. And that looks like a ship that's sunk in a swampy bit. So yeah, it looks quite good from that point of view. And I must admit, when I was playing on this as well, I mean, I think the full clip, even though it's condensed, 3 hours, I think it was about an hour and a half. So not long in the grand scheme of gaming, obviously. But you can get quite a lot done in a short space of time. That just with the stuff out the box. I mean, I can see you can spend hours and hours and hours just customizing all of this stuff, and changing the levels and the heights and making it dip into the ground and creating pools and adding rocks and things like that. I can presume you could spend a lot of time doing that. But for now, I just wanted to get a few rides in just so you can see what the areas look like. And probably in a couple of the future videos that I'll do for this, I'll probably look at, changing the gradients and making them, higher and lower and different things like that. So yeah, we just thought we'd put our first coaster in here. Um, I didn't go mega extravagant. It's kind of a bit of like a mine train kind of thing called Loco Lobo. I didn't change it. The only thing I wanted to change is I wanted to change the entrance, so I got rid of that and put a more Viking theme entrance on the front. So I thought that was probably better doing that. Um, and I wanted that next to it as well, just because it just makes sense just to have a flat and a coaster. I think I use the scale tool on this as well, as you can see on here. A little tip is as well, I always try and just slightly sink it into the ground, so you know for sure that it doesn't look like it's going to be floating, because it's easy to see it going into the ground and it is floating in the air. So I just put it slightly sunk into the ground. Here's me with this little issue again, so I deleted it this time, I think, and I changed the color to pretty much the same. You can have different types, but I'm trying to figure it out. Where is it? Where do I change it? Um, do that. There we go. Change that off. But I think I had to delete it and re-add it, basically. Yeah. So that's what it kind of looks like from there. And there's a new path putting in right there. It's quite easy to put it in. You can change it from looping in sort of curves and things and make it go straight. Oh, this is me doing a test on our little mine train. For a mine train kind of thing, it's quite high, I thought, but it's quite cool. There's a quite a steep first bank. I like the rolls as well. They're pretty cool. Obviously, this is not that fast when you do it. It's just I've speeded it up, obviously. But yeah, I start putting a little bit of theming in here as well, just to tidy it up and make it look good. Made a little rock monster with head. They're kind of cool. Yeah, if you get too close on things, the snap function kind of interferes with it, sort of thing. So you have to be a little bit mindful of that as well. And this is the snap function as well. It'll just, you roll it around, it'll snap to the floor, it'll snap onto a wall in different areas as well. So just building that out a little bit there. Um, but I really do like the aesthetic of it. It's not, it's graphically intensive enough to make it detailed enough, but there's enough cartooniness in it just to make it just fun to look at. Sometimes you can overthink these things. And really, you just want to have fun and build a park and make it look nice, sort of thing. Oh yeah, I'm building a windmill here. So they come in all different segments, and you can do sort of different ones. You can change the scale again of them to different things. I just left it as similar, but I quite like this. I did two windmills on top of each, and they do actually work by doing it that way. And it's really good because you can put overlays and stuff on things as well, to make the theme slightly different. But this is the problem I had, was about this snapping onto tool here onto this particular building. Now, whether it's a glitch or just me being a bit of a duffer, but if you look, it's quite sped up to be fair. When you're trying to snap anything onto it, it looks like it's floating on the wall rather than actually attaching. Where everything else that snaps to a wall or anything like that, it seems to snap on fine. But on this particular one, it didn't really work very well. So I have a few goes for different things, and it was a similar kind of problem. So if you can, if anyone can tell me about that, that'd be useful. But I'll figure it out, no doubt. And if I figure it out, I'll give you an update in the next video as well. So I try a few different ways. I think I end up putting something else on entirely in the end. Um, but again, it's straight away you can make things look so good so quickly. I think probably in this area as well, I'll add a bit of rock work, and I might add some water going under where the exits, where the little bridge is as well. I might have a bit of water go through there just to make it look a bit nicer, and give it a bit of a textured feel as well. Um, just so we got that going under and over sort of thing. So yeah, I try and do it again with the shield, as you can see. I spent a bit of time trying to figure this out, getting a bit frustrated with it, but yeah, it wasn't really working. So I sort of like, well, I'll come back to that. We'll do something else for now. But again, this is all working with the theming, um, making it, building the look and feel of it, so people get that wow factor when they come into it, which I think is important. I know it's a game, but people do different things. People just want to build massive coasters, or they want to do the fastest coaster. There's lots of people who do lots of different things on this game. But for me, I just wanted to create something for you guys, just to say, this is what you get out the box. This is what you can do without going too mad and spending loads of time customizing. And actually, if you want to build a nice park without going too crazy in the customization, you can build some quite nice stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, if you go into the full customization and make your own things and custom coasters and all the rest of it, you can make something pretty spectacular, I think, out of this. But I just wanted to show out the box the coasters and the flat rides out the box as they look, what you can actually do with it. And I think that's a good start for 10 for anybody. People pay a lot of money for games at the end of the day. And the way I see it is, if you're going to spend 40-50 pounds full price on this, it's like, no way. You want to make sure that you're going to gain your bang for your buck. But I must admit, it's quite fun. I could lose 3 or 4 hours of this without thinking about it too much, to be quite honest. Um, don't ask me what I was doing there. It was getting quite late. I just thought, oh, I could make a weird sort of axe, flying axe, star, shield thing. And it just looked really weird, so I just deleted it. So, but yeah, I'm just putting some buildings in as well, just around it, just to give it that kind of feel of, a little Viking village sort of thing as well. So the thing I haven't put in yet actually is things like there's a shop on the one side next to the flat, next to the pirate ship. I'm calling it a pirate ship because that's where I know them as. It's something else. This is a Viking long ship thing. Um, you know. But what I also like as well is I don't just put those banners up, and they've got their own little animations and things like that, which is really cool. There's a lot of thought. You can tell there's a lot of thought gone into each individual item. Doors that open, and flags that wave in the sky, and the fire that comes out of the torches and things like that. There's just so much detail, nice details like that, without having to worry about, oh, do I need to do anything special with it? No, it's pretty much drag drop, and like this. There's an axe thing up on it, and it's like he just overlays it. It just looks like it's one solid piece. It doesn't look like you put two pieces together. It's quite smooth and natural looking, um, which I quite like. So yeah, so this is the sort of village I'm kind of trying to look for in my little theme park, which I've named Simnation Studios inventively. Um, the rock thing's quite interesting as well. You have to be careful on the scale, so you choose large rocks and scales. If you hold your finger on the mouse button and drag it over, the longer you keep it over, the more it'll build. So you just have to be a little bit mindful for that. But you can mess with the settings to sort of align to services and avoid paths. So if you do it, you can do it right up to the path. But if you take the avoid path on, it'll build on top of the paths as well. So just be mindful of that. Um, but yeah, I'm just trying to build a lot of things, and actually most of your time is building your theming in. You can actually, I've not done it yet, but you can actually snap elements onto the rides themselves. So if you wanted to sort of put more theming on the rides, and you can do that, which I think is a really cool idea, which I probably will do once I've got my layout done, and then I'm finalising and adding to it and making it look really good, and build it out there. So it's going to be quite good. I think this is going to be a few episodes. I think we're looking about 9 or 10 episodes of this. I think to get us a decent theme park that looks pretty and has got a lot of appeal and got lots of rides, got lots of coasters and lots of flat rides, and shops and all the details and theming that comes with it. So it should be really, really, really good. Just trying to get something that looks nice, that shows you what you can do out of the box, um, which is really good. I think it's a fun game. I had to stop about an hour and a half in because I thought I could do an all nighter on this, but I was just getting a bit tired. To be fair, I thought no, I need to stop. But I thought as an opening one, a quick, I think it's about 26, 27 minutes. This video will be. I thought I'd do a quick 26, 27 minutes, um, and then maybe we do a longer one on the next one just to do it in. But as you can see, an hour and a half, you can build quite a lot quite quickly. Um, but yeah, and the you can build your own windmills, but this is like a set piece windmill you can do right here. But equally building the custom windmills are quite quick, I think. Um, so it's pretty good. So there we go. We've got like a nice little coaster there. I'm putting another ride in now, which is a nice. It's called Sky Beam, which is a big, basically swing. Think Thought Park, big swing sort of thing. Um, and that you're not too far off the money. The roller coaster experts will probably crucify me for saying a big swing when it's actually called something quite technical, no doubt. But we all know what we mean. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on it. I just enjoy going on them, and they're a bit of fun, and I love watching the kids go on them. Um, so yeah. So if you look at the tracks can't intercede to each other. They will just come up red. So you have to kind of just delete them off and re sort of purpose them, sort of thing, in a different way. So yeah, I'm making another sort of entrance here, but I just want to make sure there's enough room for everybody. So I've raised it up again just to give some layers to the sort of queue, so you can see different things. People, when I go to a theme park, I like looking at all different sort of things in different ways. I think it's really good. Um, but yeah, so that's it. So we're just finishing up on this one anyway. And I think I'll just put the last bit of the queue in, and I move the path out. But this is the first one of a few. It's the first time I played it really, so I'll probably know a bit more each time I go. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and thanks for tuning into Sim Nation Gaming. Really appreciate all your support so far. I've had some new subscribers come in, and thank you very much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you next time. So, see you on a flip flop. Take care now. Bye now.